Square. It's also the title track from the album, I should say, Rock Hard. This is it, Rock Hard. We talk with Suzi right after this. If you're watching Suzi, sorry about that. We'll mix up. See you in a second. Suzi Quatro. Suzi Quatro's Rock Hard, and Suzi's with us on Sounds Lovely to have you. And just moments before you leave the country again.
Yes, actually we're leaving on April 4th.
Mm-hmm. Away to where?
Back to London for 2 weeks, and then we go on a Scandinavian tour, and then we go to America, and then we're going to try to get back here for July, August.
You're coming back into
Yeah, hopefully.
You do still tour a lot, is that correct?
But we used to do it like 9-10 months a few years ago, and now we really cut down, and we do 7 or 8 months.
That's good.
We do tour a lot. We're a working band.
And you like that? You prefer that to getting off the road and having a rest?
Well, the whole reason that you get into the business is to do gigs. I mean, the boring part about being on the road is that you got to waste the whole day just to get to that gig.
Yeah.
You know, for an hour and a half you're alive, and then the rest is just boring.
And the television? Do you like doing the TV?
Some television I like. It's boring when you're doing a rock show and you've got to wait around all day to do 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's boring. But things like this, I mean, you come in and you talk, and then, that's...
Knock it over.
I mean, as long as you don't bore me, I'm fine.
Fine. Well, I'll try not to. I'm going to ask you a very boring question now, and I want to go right back to the start, how you first started in the music industry, and it's at a much younger age than I'm sure most people realize. I think it was 7?
Yeah, I played bongo drums. Begged my dad for a set of bongo drums, and he bought them for me for Christmas, and I used to go to his gigs with him. I was supposed to be at church, and my dad took me to his gig instead. I don't think my mother still knows about that.
What a nice dad.
Yeah.
And for bongo drums?
And he gave me a quarter, 25 cents.
Oh, you're a beauty.
Yeah.
Ice cream on the side.
Yeah, right.
From there, you formed your own group at something like 14.
Yeah, well, I went from there to piano. I played piano for about 6 years, and I played drums in school. And then when I was 14, we decided to form a rock and roll band.
And that was with sisters?
Yeah, well, some girlfriends and a sister. Different sisters in through the years, we kept changing around. And when we did that, every girl picked an instrument, and nobody picked the bass. They gave it to me. They said, you got it right. I mean, I'm only 5'1", you know what I mean?
Right.
So I got this huge sing-out which stood out there, and I taught myself how to play it. And then luckily, I fell in love with the instrument, and I never wanted to play anything else.
And you continued. Then later, did that band split completely, or was that an additive to that band that went to Vietnam?
That was a band called... No, that was the same band, only it was different members. I mean, it kept changing around and all that.
Small change.
Yeah, that was terrible, that was. Because we went in the hospital to where the people had just come off the plane and they weren't really cleaned up properly. Right. And we had to go through the corridor singing for them. So that was pretty horrific. I was only 17 at the time.
17, yeah. So, all up to now, you've been born in America, you've lived in America, you've played in America.
Yes.
And then later you go to England.
I went to England in 1971.
We'll pick that up after we have a look at this brand new single of yours, Lipstick, if that's okay with you. Okay. Suzi and Lipstick, and we come back and find out what happened from England up.
You broke my heart when you come home with somebody else's lipstick on. Always there. making out with someone else's makeup. I suppose it should be heartbreak time, but funny thing, I'm feeling fine. And then you give it to me one more time. And I nail my mouth and you will take it there still. Inhale and send someone else to live still. 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 Oh, someone else to live still. Someone's trying to live still. Someone's singing to live still. Someone's garden to live still. Someone else is you know what you can do with your lipstick. Stick around long enough, and I'll give you some lipstick. And it'll take you. You see, I've had enough of your lipstick. So you better pick up and get out of the
Lipstick, Suzi Quatro, that's the brand new single, and you should get a hold of it because by the time she comes back in July, it's going to be an enormous hit. Can we go back to that English visit, the first time you went across? Mickey Most, I think it was.
Yes,
that got you across there?
Yeah, he was the man that originally took me over. He came to Detroit to record Jeff Beck, and we got him to the gig that we were doing. It was a band called Cradle at this time, and he kind of went like that to me. He said, "Come on, back to the back of the hall." And he said, "You want to go be a star?" And I said, "Yep." So he asked me if I wanted to make an album, and I said yes. And about 2 weeks later, I was on the plane with a couple pairs of blue jeans and a bass guitar.
What was the first single, not that you made, but that charted over there?
Can the Can went straight to #1 within 3 weeks.
And that was the first single you made?
That was, yeah. Not the first single I made. We had one out before that called Rolling Stone. It went to #1 in Portugal.
Oh, you beauty.
That bought me
Bought you another pair of jeans. Okay, the touring days we've spoken about, but the husband, we haven't. Now, he joined you somewhere around that time, didn't he?
72, I was holding auditions for my band, and he came in and joined the band, and we were together from then on.
This is Glenn, he's been with you right through.
Right the way through.
And a little later on, you meet up with Chin Chapman. Can you tell us how
No,
you
that
met
was
them?
right at the same time.
Oh, right.
Just as the band was formed. I mean, I knew Chin and Chapman from the time I arrived in England. But just as the band was formed, Mickey and I had been recording together, and we didn't like anything that we had done at all. We just weren't happy. So I was writing lots of songs, and Mickey said, "You know, Nicky and Mike, would you like to work together?" They said yes, we said yes.
Oh,
So they came and listened to all the material. They went away and wrote Can the Can. We did the rest of the album. It was a success, and we've been working together since then.
From there on in.
Yeah.
There was a small image change a couple of years ago where you went into the...
Just a little variation on the theme.
lovely dress. I thought it was beautiful. I thought... that
It was
going
nice
to be
for
the
a
way.
change.
You could have ended up in clubs forever.
Oh,
just
boring. That was just because we have been doing the same type of songs for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
We thought, well, let's have a little change. We recorded If You Can't Give Me Love and then Stumbled In, and then we just turned right around and came back home again.
Back to where we belong in the leather, eh?
Yeah.
Suzi, thank you for being on Sounds.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in July.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.